Guys, ladies and gentlemen, people, we're here. It's the day before the AP Lit exam. We made it. I wanted to leave you with just a couple reminders, just a little more than 24 hours before the exam. So, the exam is tomorrow, Wednesday, May 13th at 1 p.m. Uh, Keep that in mind. Make sure that you've got a space that you can use. Make sure that you've made it clear to your family that you need some peace and quiet, and that if possible, you need the internet to be as open as possible during that time. For 50 minutes, they can do it. Um, Log in at least 5 to 10 minutes before 1 p.m. You can log in as early as 12:30, and you could just log in, leave your computer, walk away, come back. If you want to be super safe, I'd probably log in as early as you're able to, and then just leave that computer there. Make sure nobody touches it. Make sure it's plugged in. Make sure everything's up to date on your computer, all that good stuff. Once you're logged in and you see that you're logged in, and you get that counter like until the exam's going to begin, do not hit the refresh button or the back button. No matter what happens, don't do it. Just go with it. Um, you're going to have 45 minutes to read and write. So once the exam starts, that prompt will come up. Your time starts then. Um, After 45 minutes, you're going to get a warning that basically tells you have 5 minutes to upload the documents and submit your response. Now, at this point, I'm pretty positive you'll be able to finish up some things real quickly if you're still typing or still thinking something, but you want to do that as quickly as you can so that you make sure that you don't have any trouble uploading things. It sounds like some people did have some difficulties yesterday with some of the exams, but according to the AP, it was like less than 2% of students who took physics had any technical difficulties. Um, my hope is that things will be even better by tomorrow, and that it is rather unlikely that any of you will see any technical difficulties. That's my hope. We'll see what happens. You should have, oh, it's over there. You should have a ticket like that. Um, that is in your inbox. You should get one for each exam, an email. If you don't, you may be able to log in the College Board and find the same information, but you will need that. You need that link and you need your AP ID in order to get into the exam. So make sure that you've got that. If you don't, email me, email my suite. We'll do what we can to help you. Um, if worse comes to worse, though, you may have to call the College Board because we just might not be able to get it for you. But do make sure you check your email, make sure you have that. All right. Make sure you know if you're going to handwrite or type. Make sure that before you fall asleep tonight, make sure you know which one of those things you're doing. I assume most of you do. You should do whatever's faster. Again, if you haven't done it, I highly encourage you to literally set a timer for a minute, handwrite something, type something, count the number of words, see which is faster. Trust yourself and go with whichever one is faster. Or in the end, just trust your gut and go with the one that you just feel better about. But in the end, I think faster is better here. If you're handwriting, you are going to have to take a photo of what you wrote, either with the built-in camera on your computer or the camera on your phone. If you have an iPhone and it's a newer iPhone, you know how it takes that live photo where things move. That thing, those use a different image format, and the College Board will not accept that image format. So if you take the photo with a newer iPhone and you're uploading it and it's not accepting it, what you need to do, this is what I've heard from the College Board, is email that photo to yourself. Once you email it and download it, it should automatically convert to a JPEG, which is an acceptable format. And then if you're doing the whole thing on your phone, you might have to email it back to yourself. You're going to have to convert it to a JPEG. And the easiest way to do this is to email it and download it and then upload it. Otherwise, you just have to make sure you submit, I think it's a JPEG or a PNG or a GIF. I'm going to go through that in a second at the College Board website. If you're typing, earlier I recommended that you should save it as a Google Doc and then upload it. I am amending my recommendation based on things that I've heard about technical difficulties, because the area where most people had difficulties was with uploading documents. So to you, I would actually say what you should do is copy and paste what you wrote in the Google Doc right into the form on the page where you logged in. There should be an area when you submit your answer where you can copy and paste your response. Again, earlier I said save it as a document, download it, upload it. I am amending that recommendation to say that it actually sounds like it's probably better if you just cut and paste right into the website, because the only issue that most people had yesterday was when it came to uploading documents. So that's my advice there. Couple more things. I think when you are doing the exam, I would have something next to you, another computer, a tablet, a laptop, your phone, something where you can look up words quickly as you go, whether you download a dictionary app or you're just looking on Google for definitions. Just have something that you're familiar with and you know how it's going to work. I would just like test it out today, look up some words, find the easiest way for you to do that. Because I think the one thing that could be helpful is to look up words that you don't understand as you go. I would recommend that. This is news to me. I should have seen this earlier, but somehow I missed it. The prompt will not provide you with the name of the work or the author. It will not. So you're not going to be able to write like in this passage from blah, blah, blah by blah, blah, blah. You're just going to say in the passage. The reason they're doing this is they're trying to make it harder for you to look things up to find out information about the author or the story or anything else. That's why they're doing it. So my other piece of advice is just don't waste time trying to look up analysis of the passage. They likely picked a passage that there's not much on, but they're also being super careful by not giving you the name of the author or the title of the work. But it's just, I think in the end, you're likely to go down a rabbit hole that's going to waste your time, and it might not be that useful. And if you copy or paste anything you find, a sentence, a phrase, anything, and they're able to find out that you did, you're going to get a 0 for cheating, and they're going to send those results to your college. So don't do it. But again, big takeaway, the prompt will not provide you with the name of the work or the author, which is a big change. So when you get to that first sentence, you're not going to be able to write in, the excerpt from blank by blank. You're just going to say in the passage and go right into it. Have a pen or pencil and paper ready so you can take notes. Make sure you're taking notes on the prompt. Break it down into questions. If there's any important context, make sure you know what that context is. Take notes on the passage as you go. Make sure your first read through, like who is this? Where are we? What are they doing? What's the conflict? Any things that stick out. Second read through, be looking for literary elements, be thinking about that deeper, more figurative meaning. What does this all mean? What is the author trying to communicate? Take notes on that. Before you think about starting typing or writing your essay, please take a minute to jot down some thoughts on a thesis and make sure you've developed the strongest thesis you can before you start writing. An essay built on a poor thesis is a house of cards waiting to crumble. So please just stop and make sure that you have a strong thesis before you begin writing. I would also highly encourage you to sketch out ideas for topic sentences for your paragraphs and the evidence you plan to use before you start writing. Don't do like a whole formal outline, but just like topic, like get your thesis really figured out. Make sure you feel really good about that. And then just kind of make sure you know what you're going to hit in each paragraph and the evidence you're going to use. Remember, walk me through the passage, pick moments to kind of zoom in on that are going to support your thesis. Tell me what's happening, how the author did it, how it relates to your thesis. You'll do great. Just lastly, when it comes time to upload, I think the quickest way is going to be to copy and paste what you've typed. Make sure you do give yourself plenty of time to upload photos if you decide to handwrite. And especially if it's a newer iPhone, either try to turn off the live photo thing if you can, or just be ready to possibly have to email that to yourself, download it, re-upload it, like to get there, because that's what it might take to get it to be a JPEG and not, I think it's like an HEIC file is what it's called on the iPhone. That's the big stuff. I want to just quickly walk through some troubleshooting things on from the College Board's website. You can access this page too. You should have your tickets, check your inbox, check everything. If you don't have those, let me or Miss Sweet know. If you can't find that, log into your AP account and see if you can find things there. They are recommending Chrome as the browser to use, if not Chrome, Firefox. So just make sure that you've got one of those browsers on whatever you're using. Make sure it's updated. Big one here, make sure you turn off any plugins or extensions that are on. So like for instance, if you look up here, I've got Grammarly on right now. I would need to go in there. Oh, and I actually don't. It says it's active. I want to turn it off. How do I turn it off? Of course it won't let me. See, that's troublesome because I can't turn it off. Turn it off. Sorry you're watching me do this, but this might be worth it because you will have to do it the same thing. I'm going to figure out how to turn Grammarly off, and I'm going to come back with another video for that. That's what I'm going to do. But you do want to make sure Grammarly is turned off and anything else there. If you're on a Chromebook, great. If you're on PC or Mac, just make sure your software is updated as possible. Same with your smartphone or your iPad. Again, if you're taking your exam on a laptop or a desktop computer, just take that photo. It says when emailing the photo, select the medium file size, and then save your photo as a PNG, a JPEG, or a JPEG. You cannot do the HEIC file, which again is what some newer iPhones use. You can read the rest of this on your own, but that's the big stuff I wanted to get through there. If you have any questions or anything, please reach out. I am here for you. I'm going to send one more video tomorrow, but one more time, good luck. You got this. Thanks for being here. Thanks for being awesome. You put in so much work this year. You're going to do well on this exam. I know you are. So be ready at 1 p.m. tomorrow, a little bit before. Just take it to it. Thanks, everybody.